Hello everybody, how are we all doing today? Welcome. It's been a while since I have last shown my face on YouTube. I haven't been too well. I was quite ill last week. So yeah, just spent a few days recovering. Well, more than a few days recovering, the best part of a week. I think the last time I was actually doing a live stream was when I started to feel ill, and then it just became like, ugh, it was horrible. But yeah, better now, recovering and back into the swing of things again. So back in the charts, I've been working on a lot of stuff. Taking this time off to work on some new content, slightly different stuff that I can show you guys during the stream. I've also been working on a new workspace, which has been really producing the goods in terms of trading recently. So yeah, I've been making that look all very nice and ready to kind of release for the crew very soon. But yeah, overall, yeah, good to be back. It's good to see all of you in here again. If you can hit the like button to show your appreciation, that would be wonderful. So who do we have in here? Young Super Knight. Been waiting for Luke's live. Yes, I know it's been a while. Tharaz, yes, let's get this up to 40 likes. I have already started, so let's get this up to 40 likes before I do any TA stuff. That would be nice. Changa, Mr. Fry. Oh my god, yes, it is still on. You've sent me like 3 DMs and I have forgot to reply to any of them. Yes. I apologize. I am the worst when it comes to messaging people. Mido, Sweeping Hawk, Greg, Mark, Brown Bugs here, Nicholas, and Rohit. Check Ape. Maybe later. All right, cool. And Mr. Gizzer, who's now, I'm sure that wasn't X's before. Quinny as well. Cool. All right, welcome everybody. So yeah, Bitcoin, it's actually been really, yeah, really nice trading today. Really nice trading. So I'm just going to cover a short that I've just taken, and this is one that we had given to the crew. So let me pull up the Discord a second. So anyone that's here, is there anyone that's not in the crew? Anybody here? Hands up, anyone that's not already in the crew, because this is the little golden nuggets that we were giving away this morning. Let's just get this off. Let's just bring this over here, and then you can see here. So this is the new workspace I've been working on, and the short that was taken on the London highs earlier on. So this was just the little SFP that we had of the little local highs in order to get into a short position after having taken the long right on the London Open earlier on today, as we took out the lows from the daily open from the Asia session. And then we're able to get from that long into that short, and then being able to take profit at what is currently the POC of this current session. So here we go. This was the take profit that had been taken after taking the short, coming into the POC there, getting that nice move down, that rejection, and then getting the take profit. And also, don't you just love confluence? All right, there's luxury taking the exact same trade from the highs during the luxury volatility sessions that we've been trading recently, and yeah, it's been very nice so far. So that was a little bit of a trade that we did take earlier on. We've just come up to make potentially a lower high before continuing lower. Now, what we often find during this period of time in the market is this is where major reversals take place. So it's that transition between one session into the next. Some people call it kill zones, some people call it whatever. This is based off of our own research, mainly luxuries research, in order to determine where the volume and the volatility is most likely to occur during the day. Is very different to anywhere else, and it's much more accurate, but this has been able to get us to time these pivots like literally to perfection. So these were the couple of trades that were taken today. Okay, this the long here, as we took out those lows from, well, the local lows from the Asia session into the daily open, just as we came into the the London Open. You can see the shaded area here. I know it's very mild, but basically these darker areas are where you would expect pivots to be put in on the market. So this darker area here, you expect pivots to be put in, and up here that is potential reversal. And then we're looking at the same thing down here, and it's just continuously been really nice. Okay, major pivots within the market during each of these regions. Okay, you can see that darker area there giving us the main pivot yesterday in order to get the short. So that's a couple of the trades that we've been looking at, and yeah, call it shadow box and yeah, call it shadow boxes, or you get dislike. These shadow boxes, they're, I guess, the shadowy colory boxes. Yeah, there you go. So no dislike anyway. I've called it a shadowy box. But what we also had on those highs earlier was the divergence playing out. Okay, so you had the divergence here on the RSI. So there's your higher high on price, the lower high on the RSI, and then what we had in addition to that was the divergence plus CVD weakness on the CVD. So if we're looking at these two highs here, we were actually forming bearish divergence as we came up to make this lower high. Now that was an opportunity to take a short position there because we did have the bearish divergence building, and then what we immediately did straight after that was we created CVD weakness, lack of participants, as the high was taken. Now this is the thing, this was a little bit early to be looking for those shorts. We were almost there, but never really, it didn't take out the high. So at that point you're looking at the absorption already going on, but then the high was taken and it gave a pretty decent opportunity to take a short position from there. So this has just been a scalp so far today, taking profit here at the session VWAP and the session POC. So as you can see, you got that rejection. This is actually on the standard deviations of the VWAP to be able to get that down as well. So just tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of confluence for this trade as a whole. You come back into this region here, which was giving you the the point of control of the session. That was actually 1 bar lower at the time that we came into it, and the VWAP here from this session. And now what are we doing? We're just being caught here, just absorbing the buying up at the value area high of the London session. So it's been a really good session, long from the lows, short from the highs, taking profit at the POC on both occasions, and yeah, happy days. So that is Bitcoin. That's the new workspace that will be released with a bunch of video content very imminently for the crew. So what we have on here is a TPO, a 5-minute TPO. I know it should be 30 minutes, but this is not using the letters. This is just a TPO to be able to get the just the profiles right, the session splits correct and everything. Then I'm using a volume chart here, volume 200 on this, on the USDT pair. I sometimes just flick this into a 1 minute or a 3 minute or a 5 minute chart or something. And then yeah, we've got the different little bits and bobs going on here. You've got obviously the normal TPO that we often use, our volume profiles, and so on. So yeah, and then there's the DOM on the side there. We don't really need the DOM for this. I'm not going to be watching this. It just takes up space on my screen. So I think I'm going to remove the DOM quickly. That's a bit better. You get a bit more space. Cool. So yeah, that's some stuff that we've done today. I think overall my bias for the day is, I mean, we've kind of already had the moves that I was looking for. So we were able to, like yesterday, for example, this gave the long that we'd been waiting for a very, very, very long time. We've been waiting for I guess almost 2 weeks for this. So if we just go on to, I don't know, a 30-minute time frame or something, and we can look back at the range that we're in currently, and we draw our fixed range from somewhere around here, wasn't it? I can't even remember where it's supposed to be. Basically, wherever I drew it from, you can see here it was the high volume node. It's not showing as the POC here, but it was a high volume node. Ah, it's from back here, isn't it? It's this whole one. Is it this one? I did this yesterday and I couldn't find where I'd actually drawn the POC from. There we go. So yeah, you come into this bigger range point of control from the recent uptrend that we've been in, and the weekly level, and obviously the daily level that we had slightly lower. So this is what we've been waiting for a while, and we could see that every time you just like come down, taking lows, little SFP, little SFP, little SFP, you come back up here, which was into, again, we identified this. It was the previous day view up close. There, it was that little golden pocket region. It was a 5-minute order block. We identified that as an area of resistance. We were able to get the short off of that. And then finally, thanks to the FOMC minutes and everything yesterday, we were able to get that little bit of volatility that took us into that weekly level, which has then given us a nice little uptrend. Now, I'm not sure, I'm not convinced that that is the low. I do think that this would be a little bit too easy. Like if this is the low that we've just put in, like I literally caught it to the dollar. It was that easy because it was off the weekly level. So if I have a bias for the rest of the day, I think this, what we're doing here, just kind of grinding up, is likely to come down and take out lows again at some stage. However, we did have quite a red day across the markets yesterday, so potentially that can get a little bit more relief as we go on, and then yeah, maybe we just have a small retrace during New York. We come back up here in towards about this daily level would be somewhere that I'd be looking at, and then we can come and take these lows again before we look at a bigger move from there. So that's, yeah, really like the main kind of stuff that I'm looking at the moment. Does that also line up? Not really. Meh. 0.5. Meh. So yeah, in terms of resistance above, it's a little bit, yeah, I mean the daily level is what I'm looking at. If we go on to, what else have we got? Have we got anything else that's really interesting? No. Like no. Yeah, so I'm in a short, and I'm kind of happy with that short. So let's have a look. Greg, would you expect a cheeky spike up to monthly VWAP? Let's have a look at that quickly, actually. So as we were there, I've got the session VWAP here, and monthly. So that would be taken out. I mean, we could do, because we've got the New York high from yesterday. Okay, or at least maybe that high that we put in towards the end of the day. So if we can come up and just take out that high, potentially, but because I'm already short from here, I prefer where we are. And the monthly VWAP's more of it's not really like so much of a scalp level. It's kind of just nice reference. It's too high time frame to be scalpy stuff. Really. The weekly VWAP could give us something later on. If we were to come down, I think the weekly VWAP would be a little bit better. Let's say we come down, we take out the lows, then we move back up towards the end of the week, come into that daily level, by which point the VWAP will be kind of curving down, and that could give you something like maybe on the Friday, or yeah, maybe tomorrow or something, once we have this weekly VWAP start to curve down a bit more, if we do get more of a rejection here. But yeah, just general thoughts for now. As I said, I have taken the short position, and I'm fairly okay with that at this stage. Nicholas, can you explain what you were looking at in terms of order flow when you take that long and short? Thanks. Honestly, Nothing. All right. Order flow at the moment for me is interesting to analyze sometimes, but not very useful because we're really low on volume at the moment, and it's just like there's not really anyone trading it. So if there's no one really trading, if you're not really getting clear reads on the order flow of, okay, yes, we've got traders trapped here, or like, yes, we're getting access at the highs, or you're seeing something really clear, it's very difficult. It was just the fact that every day we pivot at 1:30 p.m. Like literally every single day we're pivoting at the same time. So the fact that we come up and we take a high, and not every single day, but I mean, it's probably like 70, I don't know the statistics. It must be, it's a pretty decent percentage of the time we are pivoting on that hour before the actual open of the new session, and we're putting in major pivots. So it was just the confidence of, oh look, London's put in a pretty decent high here, it's going to go for them again, because it was getting absorption at the POC and at the VWAP of that session. It's going to go for the highs again. If it goes for the highs during that time, short it. It's that simple. It's just like, you don't need to look at the order flow. It's just the statistics are there. We know when the market is most likely to move, and we're able to take those trades accordingly. Now, what we did have, of course, this is what I was going over earlier, was we did have the divergence there. We were building bearish divergence on the CVD. That had a bit of a pullback, and then we got the CVD weakness afterwards. So we did have the lack of participants after, and this was just a quick like, okay, here's the divergence. This is starting to pull in some long positions that are a bit offside. Let's just quickly get back in, sweep out any early shorts, and then we can get this reversal. And this is actually, like, it's been really perfect, because not only have you had the SFP of the highs, but just from I mean, go 1 minute time frame, off of this so far. Now, we don't know if this is the high yet. We don't. But as a trade, it's like, I've already hit take profit 1, so I'm kind of happy with that. But what did we do? We came back from the initial rejection. We had that initial change of market structure from the point in which you'd had the CVD divergence, and then you have the weakness, you take out the lows. That's the divergence playing out at that stage. And then what you get there is you're coming back into that 618, 786, 702 region as a lower high, and then you're looking to project that down again. So you had that clear absorption as we came back up, and there's just been, yeah, ample opportunity to get into a trade from this, basically. So yeah, it's been pretty good. I hope this is making sense to everyone, because this is kind of yeah, I mean, this might be very confusing for a lot of people who don't quite who maybe aren't familiar with some of the terminology I'm using. But yeah, overall, it's just the probabilities are in our favor. You see this happen. There wasn't anything really clear. Like, you didn't have a big drop off in open interest. You didn't have excess of the highs. It wasn't that kind of trade. It was just the fact that we had the CVD telling us, we had the probability that there was going to be a pivot at that time. We had a high to SFP off of. We had RSI divergence. We're now creating hidden bearish RSI divergence. So there's all of those kind of things, more of a divergence perspective, and just knowing the trade rather than order flow. I've repeated the same thing like 10,000 times then. But yeah. Thoughts on keeping inside yesterday's candle but seeing close to the low. Would be interesting if we get a bounce that doesn't take it. Big moves like yesterday tend to trade inside the following day. Yes, they do. So again, we can see where we are. Like, we're obviously not going to come and take the highs from yesterday, and it's unlikely that we're going to engulf. I mean, we could, because that daily level is a target for where we could see price coming up into. I mean, if we were to come up towards that 23,950 region, you've got a nice little breaker order block type thing up at those highs. But to come into yesterday's open could be reasonable, but yeah, we're certainly not going to take out yesterday's high. And you still got the POC down there. I would imagine we've got no news events. We've got nothing like that going on today. So it would make sense just to, yeah, as you say, just chop around within yesterday's high and low, within yesterday's value area, in order to get... yeah, you've also got the value area high up there. So if this can get continuation, I mean, that gives you a really good setup, right? Because you've got the previous day value area high. We found that support on the previous day POC, daily open. We've now found this secondary support on the London POC and the current day POC. So if we can get that floating up towards the value area high, towards that daily level, that would be, again, a really nice opportunity. Maybe even better opportunity than we've currently got here with this short. But as a London session, that's the high. The high is in. So we've got 5 minutes until New York, and then it kind of resets. You might want to get out of those trades from London. So for myself personally, if we can hold above the value area high. So if we can hold above this value area high going into New York, then again, we very realistically could end up seeing ourselves float up here. There's some quite nice levels actually as we do come higher. Little 15-minute order block, you've got those highs, you've got that monthly VWAP, you've got the previous day VWAP close, and then you're coming up here towards the daily level and the value area high up there. So yeah, might actually just close out of this short position. I've already taken profit, but I'm just watching this. I kind of feel like we're going to go higher. But yeah, anyway, that's Bitcoin. I'm going to go across and look at... what else do we want to do? Got some people asking about ETH. ETH's just been like, my Ethereum chart's not very nice at all. In fact, my Ethereum chart is very ugly. I don't know why my Ethereum chart is this ugly. Why is it this ugly? Let's get rid of some stuff. That's a horrible looking chart. But anyway, as a swing trade, I've been trading this more like swingy. It came into support. Yeah. Okay. We've come into the previous day open. There's your daily open there. We got 4 minutes until New York session opens, so I will quickly just go on to the Nasdaq and thingy S&P in a bit. Oh, okay. So there's. Ooh, right, nice. Yeah, I mean, this is what Bitcoin could do. So if Ethereum's already done this, it had the bounce off of the daily open. It took out those local highs from the London session. So if we do just go back onto the sessions, you take out the Asia highs during the London session. You put in a nice high there. You come back into the previous day open, previous day view up close, which is half decent, right? Yeah, it's okay. Ugly chart. I don't really want to do any more on this. SPX just coming into the golden pocket, haven't we? I'm still looking for a little bit lower on this. So we've just had that rejection here. Oh man, that's kind of nice. The way if we can get a bigger pullback from this, that's pretty decent. But I'd like to see it take out those local highs again. And then the Nasdaq coming into the VWAP. It's the same thing. Everything's had a pretty decent move up, but everything's come into that golden pocket, that 702. And it's starting to reject off of that. So yeah. Where are we going to open? Burp, 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 burp. 4273. Oh, we're just going to open where we closed yesterday. So this is boring. So there's not actually really anything that we can go off from the S&P at the moment. It's kind of dull. Nothing's really... yeah, not a lot I can say about that. Off. So... yeah, there's loads of new stuff. Basically, this is stuff that we've been talking about within the crew. Yes, this is all going to be made available. Everything I promise is going to be made available. It's just taking time to put everything together. The fibs, okay, the fib levels is really simple. So off, not 782, 702. So basically, halfway between the 618 and the 786 is your 702. It's a relatively common fib thing to do. I've been preferring this to the golden pocket recently. I like this because especially within crypto, and actually even more within legacy markets, that 702 level for some reason is just fantastic. It's really, really, really good. So yeah, those are the levels that I'm using currently as more of a golden pocket thing. So you just want to be aiming for, like, if you're looking for short positions, for example, that's the area that you want to be getting in, and that halfway in between the two, so exactly halfway between the 618 and the 786 is a 702. So that is why I've got my fibs labeled as that. In terms of the session things, all I've done here, I've just used a general indicator, just sessions, right? It's just called sessions on TradingView. It's a TradingView thing. And you just put in the sessions in UTC time. Obviously, we're UTC +1 at the moment. You put in your standard session times, and that highlights the boxes. And then what I've done for these, for our volatility sessions, I'm not gonna explain the rest of that because this will be for crew. Anyway, here's our open. So we have just opened exactly where we closed yesterday. Boring. No gap. Nothing to speak about. So let's see how Bitcoin's reacting. Going lower. Good. It's a good job I didn't close out of that short position just yet. Yeah, like 702, 705, similar thing. I'm pretty OCD when it comes to numbers. So I've heard of the 705 thing, but then, like, that's like awkward. It's not like nice and even between the 618 and the 786. I like it to be nice and even. Exactly in the middle, bang on in the middle between the two. The 8-0. Not sure about that one. Anyway, what else shall we do? What else? What can we talk about? Here's our new New York session. Nice and New York. Just back testing the VWAP close from London. Our New York session yesterday, so our New York POC. Oops. New York POC is down here, 23,400. So if we are to get more of a pullback from here, 23,400 would be a level that I would be interested in. Does that give us anything else to go off of? If we are taking here, 23 fair. It's all the way up here. So we're going from here to here. All right, look at this. So look at where our 702, the magic new fib level, is lining up. That is your New York POC. So if you do put a fixed range from yesterday's New York session there to there, it's not showing up on this one, obviously, because it's being silly. Maybe on a 5-minute time frame. But either way, you've got nice volume coming in here from. So what I like to do is trade session to session, where we had the yesterday's New York POC. If we can come into that during the New York session, so within this region, this would be a potential region to be looking for a decent little bounce. Oh, that's why, because I've got it as extend right. Duh. There we go. There it is. That's what we want. So there is your New York POC, right on that 702. We're at the session VWAP at the moment, but I don't think yet that that's enough of a pullback. Again, that's probably a take profit on the short again, but I've already taken profit on the short, so I don't know if I want to do that again for a second time. Anyway, that gives us a nice level, right? 23,400. Pay attention. If we do get a move down to 23,400, that becomes a fairly decent region to be looking at a bounce here. Obviously, session VWAP is going to give us a bounce. It always will. When you've had that much time and space above it, it's very likely to give us a bounce. 23.4. Let's all see a previous day point of control, so yeah, fair enough. See if we can get that move. I might switch my short into a long as we get down there. Tom VDB, I don't know what an SOS zone is. I've never heard of that. And I also don't really, I don't know what, I've heard of vector candles. I know that they're higher volume candles than other candles. But that's about all I know. I think personally, I think it's some bullshit term for stuff that's like, it's a candle with high volume in it, right? I think that's all it is. If it's anything different, then fair enough. But yeah, I don't need I like a nice clean chart. I've said, yeah. So I don't need to know where high volume is, because you know where high volume is by just looking anyway at the volume. Oh, right, okay. Sign of strength, right, yeah. Yes. So if we are looking at Wyckoff, then you'd be looking at, I mean, okay, yeah, I get what you mean. So you're looking at this selling climax here. Whoa. Selling climax. There's your spring. Selling climax, automatic rally. Spring. Test again. I don't like this because you kind of got, yeah. Yeah. I guess so. I guess it could be, yeah. You've seen, I don't know. I'm not really seeing it so much. I understand what you mean. I'm not sure if that's a spring. I think I would prefer, because that to me looks like a rally, but then you've got a rally again. So you've almost got rally. Oh my God, why I keep pressing the wrong. You kind of got rally, spring, rally. And then I do think that maybe we come down and take it out again. And then that acts as the spring, and then you get the test, and then you come off of that. But yeah, maybe, yeah. What are we at on the higher time frames? Nicola, is that if this is the guy who I think you're talking about, he's literally like the most, I mean, just no would be my answer to that. If that's what, it's that guy who's like stuck in Romania because he's such an asshole, he's not allowed anywhere else, right? And he's some like kind of just like the worst type of person in the entire world. I guess that's who you're talking about. Andrew Tate, Bugatti man. I don't know. Like, I don't know any of this stuff. I know the name, and again, I think I know who you're talking about, and he's just a complete dick. Scammer, ass, stupid thing. There's nothing else to talk about. I'm just here talking. Tony Vase. Richard Hart, yeah. Richard Hart, I think he's kind of, I like Richard Hart. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He actually is like, I find him quite funny. All right, we're not going to get into a conversation about this. I massively disagree that any of his views are realistic. If it's the person who I think you're talking about. The copy trading stuff is something that there may be potentially something that I might look into. I don't know how it all works though. Anyway, can we get back to price action? I'm talking about just stupid people on the stream. I want to get back into trading, but there's nothing happening. DXY, thank you. Thank you for giving me something to look at. ADA, okay, so we can look at the DXY. It is pumping. Very, very nice. Let's just remove this nonsense because we don't need that for that. Let's go here. Woo. So, I mean, that's pretty strong from the DXY at the moment. You're just getting less of a rejection each time you come up into these highs. It had taken out the highs and we had a pretty decent pullback. But this looks like it is launching. So, yeah, maybe I am very happy in my short. The next area that we really got to look at is just level to level, right? So if it takes out those highs, because you've had a change in market structure, you've had a slight pullback from that, it looks like it's going to go on to the next little region up here. if we're looking at, oh, it's your 618. So, hazard a guess, I believe that that is likely where we're heading on the DXY. I mean, that's pretty much perfect, right? That's where you want to see it go. So that's where we're going, which I do believe would give us a bit more of a pullback on the rest of the markets, which is also very, very nice for my USD JPY short, and my second one. I also want to get into a long position on the Euro USD, but it hasn't come into my buy zone yet. And this is the annoying thing. I want it to come down here. I want to see the Euro come down here against the dollar, and it hasn't quite got there. So I wasn't able to get into a long off of this. But if we do take out these lows, and there can be a bounce, then I might take that trade. GBP was the same. Again, like I was looking for these lows to get taken. I never actually got into this. This happened like before I was awake. But this one's pretty good. Okay. How's my Apple trade going? My Apple trade is just about okay. I was... Yeah, so we've gapped down on that. That's a relief. I'm short on Apple, which is kind of silly because it's like the strongest thing in the market, but I am short on Apple. I have taken a short position on Apple. Or I have taken a put. The Nasdaq back inside value area after we rejected the 618, holding back inside value area and pulling back. S&P's pulling back. It's got all these gappity gaps below. I mean, it kind of filled that yesterday, right? Is that enough to call that a partial fill? I'll leave it on here. But I mean, you basically filled that gap yesterday, so now I've got all of this down below us. Should be very, very nasty. I need to place my alert down here on Bitcoin. Is there anything I'm missing? You got standard deviation view up down there. Okay. Oh no, I didn't want that. That. Cool. Oh, chat's going crazy. Right. Where are we at? AM. Thoughts on ADA about to spring current range. Okay, I'll have a look at that. I've looked at S&P. Knight, highly love what you do. Thank you very, very, very much. I hope you have liked the video as well as giving that comment, but thank you very much. Chandeepa, is there a crew video where I can learn how to get confluences from each session, London, New York, etc.? Like where I can learn which POC from which session, POC high, low, might have a good reaction. I've not like done a specific video on this. It's something that I go over often within the trading rooms. I think maybe it might be worth a whole video, but basically how I trade sessions will be, so generally speaking, okay, I will go for the volume profile from an equal, this is, how do I explain this? Okay, so when this is just how I trade it, and how I like to trade it. So when I'm looking at sessions, okay, so look at this here. You've got your London session, you've got your Tokyo session, your Asia session, you've got your closed session, blah, blah, blah. How I would trade that is I would look at the high and the low of the previous session, with the previous session essentially acting as if like it's an initial balance for the next session that's following. So I would look at the high and the low of that previous session. I wouldn't pay as much attention to the POC. I pay a little bit of attention to the POC of the previous session, but not quite as much, because more often than not, it will just trade through anyway. Like you see here, like the Tokyo, the Asia session POC got a pretty decent reaction. It made a low off of this. And actually you see that the Asia session getting a nice reaction off of the closed session POC. So the POC is decent. Closed session yesterday getting a reaction off of the New York POC. So the high, the low, the POC is what I would look to trade from the session before. And then in addition to that, I will look at the corresponding session. So now that we're in New York, what I would also pay attention is where the New York POC was yesterday. Okay, so you're going from like, you roll over into the next session and you're taking your high-low POC. And then what I would do is I'd treat like basically this New York session, I would like almost remove all of this. And then I would trade this value area, this POC, on as we come into the new session itself. So you can actually see here, we basically did have that rejection off of the value area high from yesterday's New York session. So you're looking at that and this like as continuation into each other kind of thing, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Yeah. Can I do an impression of Andy Murray? Ooh! Ooh! Because he's a tennis player, right? Enough. What am I doing? Okay, I was going to look at ADA and I'll also have a look at Ape because, Rohit, you are asking about it a lot. I need to just stick to price action because I'm an idiot sometimes. What was the question on ADA? I can't even find it anymore. I can't see the question on ADA anymore. Has it been retracted? Is that the one? Oh, I think it's gone. Whatever. That's nice. Look, it came into a MPAC from down here on ADA. Holding quite well from there. Where's the POC of this whole range at? I think most alts in general just look pretty heavy right now. They look a little bit wrecked. What I can see on ADA is you've got a nice ABCD. So if we're just going from A, B, C, D, actually lines up kind of about where you'd want it to be. A 786, 272, reasonable symmetry-ish with that. As I don't really have much to say on the altcoins. I've not really got a chart here to work off of. So yeah, you're in the value area low of the, you're back within value area of the range. That low took the high, so you're looking at 782. Yeah, this is like a higher time frame thing, isn't it? So you're looking at that as the spring, and then this being basically what Bitcoin's been doing today, but on a much higher time frame. As long as you're holding this anchored VWAP, probably from this low, that's what you'd want to be holding in order to remain in an uptrend. Got kind of a nice channel here. So I've just been getting to the midpoint. Where to draw it from? There? Yeah. Something like that. Let's go back over onto Bitcoin. Bitcoin? Bitcoin. The Bitcoin. I'm in a weird mood. Alright, what I'm going to do now, just because I see P is posting links. Right. Announcements time and stuff, I guess. I've done, what? We've done an hour of streaming already. So it's about time I probably do some actual stuff that's like stuff. So if you are new to this channel, then please do, again, I've told you a million times already, hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. If you have already hit the like button, please do not hit it again, because then you will not like it anymore. So if you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. If you are new to this channel, please do subscribe as well. And please do check out tauruscrypto.com. Okay, it's up there. Okay, you can see tauruscrypto.com up in the top right-hand corner of your screen. There you can find out a lot more information about all these services that you could provide. We have all the videos on there and everything. You've got our partnerships. I'm going to announce a new partnership, which I'm going to add to the website in just a moment. But what we also have on there is the crew section. Now, the crew is an additional service that we do provide. It is a paid service. We basically do live sessions on a daily basis, basically, from either myself, being the kind of person, me, either from myself, I do live trading stuff, or from one of our coaches. So we've got Luxury, who is just, so if there's anyone interested in order flow and learning more about order flow and exocharts and things in particular, he's a master at it. He's absolute genius level order flow person, who, yeah, just gives great content, a lot of live trade examples, and often doing like live calls as well within the crew. We've got the French Bull, who is like a legend. Oh, we've just hit the level that we want to be hitting, haven't we? Oh no, that's the euro. This just hit the level. We've got French Bull. I'm just going back onto the charts as I talk about this. So French Bull, who is our Elliott Wave guy, he is just fantastic with anything to do with Elliott Waves, like really, really amazing, technically, just knowing all the theory of Elliott Waves. So if you're interested in Elliott Waves, then he is there. We've got a whole series on Elliott Waves. We've got Randall, who is, again, just great with kind of the TPO stuff, the market profile stuff. So if you need help with any of that kind of thing, then he's your man. And we've also got Swooping Hawk, who is, she is just a legend when it comes to harmonics. So much detail when it comes to harmonics and fib levels and everything like that. And we've actually got some very exciting news to share with you guys fairly soon. We do have a harmonic series that she is creating for us, which is exclusively available to the crew, but we will be having a very special guest on a stream at some point in the very near future, which will be very exciting for any of you guys who are interested in harmonic trading and fibs and that kind of thing. So that will be announced at a later date, and you will not want to miss it because it will be like amazing. Yeah. Anyway, I had an alert go off just a minute ago. Oh, the the other thing I wanted to announce is we do currently have we've just got a new partnership. This is where I need to take profit. Hold on. And this is where I may potentially want to take a long. Let's just take profit here for now because I do not want to get myself into a new position. Take profit taken. Good. Happy days. Okay, now I can move on. Anyway, this is New York POC. Previous New York POC. This is where we said we would likely see a bounce. We will see if we can get a bounce, because we are likely to get a bounce, but we never know for sure. We haven't quite hit 23,400 yet, so maybe a tiny bit lower. Just to come back into this marker here. I am not taking a long, so I will see if there is an opportunity to take a long, but at the moment I'm not really seeing that. Ideally, I need some order flow to read. All right. Kind of okay here. I haven't got my DOM on here at the moment, but that's holding nicely. That's holding quite nicely. I'm assuming we hit 23,400 on the USD pair, but not on USDT because there's a bit too much. The books are a little bit too thick over there. Now we're looking like a bit more of a drop. Getting a little absorption there, which is good to see. I'd like to see it just take out that low once more. So if we can just hang around here for a little bit, just start to absorb, and then you just go ping, and then that's when I want to get into a long position. If we can get that little ping, that little just spiky down there, range, take out those early longs, and then get a reversal. just like we did over here, right? So you just have that final little spike down. Otherwise, I mean, it's looking kind of bad. This is where you'd want to see it bounce, basically. Everything's kind of here for it to bounce. So I'm just going to change something very quickly. Just because this might be interesting to some people. Oh, this isn't working. UTC. Oh. I'm trying to do something quickly on my chart. You can't actually see what I'm doing. There we go. It's still not working. Close. Oh, this is so buggy. There we go. Didn't have this set up previously. Like this. Oh, it's not working. Really? Work. I'll get back to it in a minute. I give up. Okay, what I wanted to do wasn't working. Apologies. How annoying. Let's just go back to where this should be. Cool. Anyway, we've had a bit of a bounce. Massive walls on Binance Futures just above. Let's have a little looky there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that was kind of done its job. I would imagine if price starts to come back up into here, these would likely get pulled anyway. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you got some souls up there. Like I say, I think we're likely just to take out these lows before there is any more of a reversal anyway. Cool. Bleh. I was going to say something else before I got distracted again. Oh, right, yeah. Prime XBT. Okay, so I'm just going to open back up the Discord. So for anyone who is basically, this is just a really nice exchange for anyone who's used to the crypto ecosystem, like myself and like most of us here. But if you do want to start trading Forex, commodities, indices, Prime XBT is a really, really good exchange that do offer this. Okay, so we do have a partnership with Prime XBT. P has somewhere within this chat, I'm just going to pin it. So I've just pinned the message here. If you do sign up using this link and then you use these following codes, you can get a 7% deposit bonus. So that means if you were to deposit $1,000 onto the exchange, you get $70 bonus. If you were to deposit $100,000 onto the exchange, you'd get a $7,000 bonus. And what you also get is 25% off of all fees within the exchange. That's all fees. So, and the other thing is we are going to be doing a $1,000 giveaway for anyone who does sign up and trades on the exchange. So we will be giving some more information on this, but there will be a $1,000 giveaway. Now, we've only had like 4 people sign up and deposit so far. So they at the moment have a very, very good chance of winning part of this $1,000. So if you do, but they're going to have to trade as well. So we might find that only a few people end up trading on the exchange, which then it gives you a pretty good chance of actually winning some money here. So we do have a $1,000 giveaway. We are going to split that between a few accounts. And we do have codes that will just be basically credited to your account. But yeah, this is a really nice exchange. It's very similar for anyone who likes crypto and is used to crypto in general. It's a similar kind of exchange to something like Bybit, but what they do offer is indices. So you've got the S&P 500, you've got the Nasdaq, you've got the FTSE 100, you've got the German 30, you've got the Japan indexes on there. You've got commodities, gold, silver, Brent, crude, natural gas, and then you've got Forex, Euro USD, GBP USD, JPY USD, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Chinese yen, whatever it's called, South African currency, and all of those kind of things. So yeah, sign up using the link here and you can trade all of those. I'll be doing an additional video on that, but that is how you can get 7% deposit bonus and 25% off of your fees if you would like to take advantage of that. And then of course we still are offering the Bybit offers. So there is still 100% off of maker fees on Bybit if you do that. It does work with a VPN, yes. And again, the copy trading tool I haven't looked into. I know they offer it. I haven't looked into it. We may be able to do something fun. It would probably be something we just offer the crew and we just do copy trading within trading rooms. I'm not sure. We might be able to do something. I don't know if it's actually worth doing, but yeah. We are, we're not a signals group. So it's just copy trading doesn't quite sit with me. It's a bit weird. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap things up in a minute. Thank you everybody for watching so far. I know, as always, we haven't had a huge amount of volatility or anything to look at, but I mean, did anyone take the long position from here? I mean, I like literally just gave it to you earlier on, so I hope somebody took it, because even just as a scalp trade, like all we look for is 0.5%. So nah, you're not there yet. It's too much. It's not even a very good trading day so far. If you got in a limit, you're fine. But yeah, what I'm expecting to see a little bit more of is just, yeah, let's just range down here. If we can take out that and then get a bit more of a reversal, I think that would be decent. If we do start to roll over, oh look, this gets the 1-to-1. Oh, the one extension from this. This is so perfect. If this can just come down, just SFP for that low, and then go ping all the way up to the daily level, that would be the best thing. We'd also have... be very good. That'll be very, very good. We'll see. See how it goes. Yeah, so that's the resistance above. If we are to get continuation, 23,839, 23,840. If we lose this level here, then I think it is likely that we come down and we take out the overnight lows, or yesterday's low that was put in. So I wouldn't expect too much more beyond that, but maybe we come and hit the daily level. We've hit the weekly. That was perfect. That was such a nice trade, but I'd be surprised if that holds. So if we do lose this, if we don't get enough, maybe we do this and we kind of roll over a bit of a bounce off of the daily open, and we come down here. I would expect that weekly level to be taken into the daily and then look for a reversal off of that. So that's that is the bigger plan. It's still having quite a nice bounce off of this previous New York POC, which is good. So yay, what I said would happen is happening, which makes me happy. So yeah, we'll have a very brief look again across. Let's look at the ES. It's just all internal again, isn't it? We're not really anywhere on here just yet. It's a bit yuck. Like, honestly, I mean, this looks to be holding quite nice, and yeah, I mean, I see no reason why we can't get a bit of a rotation back up towards the highs again. Like I said earlier, it was quite a heavy down day yesterday, so you would like to see this explore a little bit up before we do get any more of a pullback. But yeah, so far everything's more or less going to plan, which is good. As soon as you see the DXY, I mean, that's had a nice little surge on open, and everything's held pretty well against that. So if this can pull back, I think the rest of the market would respond quite well to that. Cool. Yeah, that's going to do it for me. What always happens on these streams is we don't get volatility until I log out anyway. So if anyone wants the charts to move, then I'm going to have to stop streaming and then we'll actually get a move. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. Anyway, we're still moving up, which is good. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. I hope you found it to be interesting and valuable, or at least mildly something. Yeah, have a great day, have a great afternoon, and I will see you all very soon. I'll be live a lot more again now than I was recently. I just hadn't been feeling very well. So yeah, back into it, and yeah, cool, bye. This is where I need to take off the webcam. Blah. There we go.